Basically, I was working before in a pallet yard, and I lost the place caught fire. I lost my ID then,
Okay.
and without my ID, I couldn't do nothing. Like come get a job.
If you could go back, is there anything you would change?
Like the day of the fire, take my ID and my money, and that's it. So, yeah, that would be the only thing I would change.
And
I'll be working by now, so.
Hamid, thank you for speaking to us.
Thanks.
I want to ask you first of all, how old are you?
34.
34, yeah? And Hamid, how long have you been homeless for?
Over 2 years now.
2 years, more than 2 years. How did it all happen?
Basically, I was working before in a pallet yard, and I lost the place caught fire. I lost my ID then,
Okay.
and without my ID, I couldn't do nothing like come get a job, benefits or anything else like that. So, and and basically after that, I'm homeless. I'm trying to get my ID sorted.
Yeah.
Waiting for it. Sometimes I have the money, I can't get help with it. Sometimes I don't have the money, I get the help. So
And when you lost your ID, where were you staying at that point?
I was working and staying in the pallet yard. I was working and staying in the yard, in Waltham Close,
Okay.
and I was sleeping there basically, working in the yard as well. So and the
then,
place caught fire, everything.
What was your job? What were you doing?
Repairing pallets, sorting pallets.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
And what about your family and stuff?
Family back home.
Back
I
home,
mean,
yeah.
just the parents.
You
I
don't
got
have
there.
anyone here?
No,
No. And how long have you been here in the UK?
20 years.
Wow,
More
long,
than 20
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. And before you became homeless, how was your life like before you became homeless?
It was alright. I mean, I had the job, I had money, I had the place to stay, and it was, alhamdulillah, it was nice.
Were you living on your own?
On my own, yeah.
Okay. And when you became homeless, talk to me about the first day, Hamid, that you became homeless. How was that first day like? What did you do on that day?
Well, I went to John Wilkes' house to the council to ask for help, and they basically said to me, you have to go private and rent private. And after that, I had nowhere to sleep, so I was sleeping at North Middlesex Hospital, in the A&E waiting area, cold, scared as well.
area.
Yeah. And then after that, you get used to it. Once one day is gone, after that, it gets easier. But it's not easy though. But, yeah.
And
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
and so you said it's not easy, and even though, so you had never been homeless before. This was your first time, and it
First
must have been
time,
a big shock for you.
It was a shock. It was scary as well. Like, just having a roof to, a bed and a roof.
Did you not have any money on you?
No, because believe it or not, I lost on the fire. I lost £10,000 of my money, my earnings there as well. So I had no money, no nothing, just the clothes on my back.
So hold on, did you lose your ID because there was a fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
The place caught fire. I lost my ID in the fire. I lost my money. I worked there.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
And when you ended up on the streets, was it in this area you've always been?
Yeah, in this area, basically from Bushel, Enfield Town here.
Do your family know you're homeless?
Yeah.
They know, yeah?
They know, yeah.
They can't do nothing to help?
I mean, I only got 2 parents back home. They're all old
it.
people, so what can I do? I wouldn't even ask them.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on them.
Yeah.
I fully
I
understand.
should be the one, supporting them.
And before you became homeless, what kind of person were you? What kind of hobbies did you have?
Like anybody else, really. After work, I'd go masjid, pray, and I used to basically fast, everything, like a Muslim does.
And then what about your colleagues that you were working with? Did they not come and help you?
We all lost a job, so everybody started doing their own thing.
And your boss didn't help you as well?
No, my boss, it turned out he was the one who set the fire, for insurance purposes. So
That's evil.
yeah.
Where do you currently sleep?
Right now, I'm staying in Angel Corner. You know where the mosque is. There's a tower block there, a Scott House. I'm just staying underneath. There's a bin shed sort of thing,
Okay.
like a garage.
Have you got like a sleeping bag or a tent?
A sleeping bag and like a little mattress.
And Hamid, what do you find to be the toughest part about being homeless?
Just being outside, really. Just alone. And I mean, right now I'm not alone. I've got my missus as well, because I met somebody on being homeless, and we've been together. But it's not easy. Just
Is she homeless as well?
Lately they put her in a hotel in North Finchley, but I'm just waiting myself to get put up somewhere as well. So.
Yeah. So what would you say is the toughest part for you?
Just being alone in the night, cold, alone. That's the most.
And a few months ago it was like snowing and ice everywhere. How did you manage?
It was cold, very cold, very cold.
What do you find to be, since being homeless for more than 2 years, what's the nicest thing someone has done for you?
Buy me clothes, buy me food, a hot meal, and also gave me money.
And what's the meanest thing someone has done to you?
I got robbed.
For your money?
Yeah, for my money. So I was walking around here, basically, I just got jumped.
You got jumped?
Yeah.
This was other homeless people or regular?
No, I don't know, regular people.
Wow, stealing from a homeless person. That's messed up.
It was just after Christmas.
And if you could get one wish, Hamid, what would your one wish be?
I get my ID. So I can get my life on track.
What's the situation with your ID then? What they're saying?
I'm waiting. I sent the application. I'm waiting now, but because of COVID, it's been taking a lot longer, basically, and just waiting for a piece of paper to say that, with my photo, to say that who I am, and I'm allowed to stay in the country, and that's it. So I can start work.
How do you get in contact with them? Do you have to physically go? Or do you call
I call them, and there is a Crisis Skylight in Liverpool Street. They deal with it, basically.
Okay.
It's like a homeless charity.
And you had never been homeless before. What's the one lesson that you've learned?
Never be homeless. Seriously, never get yourself here. I mean, now I know. Once I get the means to get, to start working there, I know how not to be
hard.
here. Yeah.
There's a lot of employers that watch our channel, people with businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of skills do you have that you feel maybe they can benefit from?
Well, I've worked my entire life as a labor, general labor, like demolition labor. So, and anything manual, physical work, I don't mind.
You're happy to do that?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. And people that walk past you, what kind of things do you like when they do for you? What kind of things do you prefer?
Just saying hi and talking sometimes, means a lot. Just instead of getting dirty looks and get a job or just move from here or whatever, that's just saying hi means a lot.
It's people being nice to you. That's what
nice,
you like. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, would you say this is the toughest time for you in your life, or have you been through things tougher than this?
This is the toughest.
This is the toughest one for you. Yeah? And what does your future look like?
I'm hoping it started to look okay now. It's starting to look up to it, but I'm hoping, very soon, hopefully, inshallah, everything will get sorted.
Did the outreach teams not help you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the outreach team. I'm waiting to get.
They know about you?
Yeah, they know.
Do you know which outreach team?
It's Street Link working with Enfield Outreach.
Mongols, okay,
yeah.
Street Link. Cool. And just coming to the end, if you could go back, is there anything you would change?
The day of the fire, take my ID and my money, and that's it. So, yeah, that would be the only thing I would change. I'll be working by now, so
you've met a lot of other homeless people, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
How has your perception of them changed now that you become homeless? What have you learned about them?
I learned because I used to be like most of people, like, get walking past and just get a job, man, or whatever. But it was homeless people that they shared their food with me, because I was hungry.
Wow.
And that made me, think different, So
you appreciate that.
Of course.
So if you now, God willing, you're not homeless in the next year, let's say, or a few months, and you're walking past a homeless person, what would you do for them?
whatever, buy them a meal, or if I have money, give them some money, or if and whatever help, or even talk to them. Even talk to them, just sit down with them, it helps a lot.
To be honest with you, a big challenge that regular people have when they walk past a homeless person is sometimes they feel if they give money, the homeless person is going to spend it on drugs.
Yeah, but that's a misperception, because you can't judge. Even if that person, you never know. Nobody knows. Only God knows what that person is doing with that money. So we're not the ones to judge. I know. I used to think like that. I'll get that myself. Like sometimes some people that, oh, you're gonna go spend on drugs.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that. How do they know? I'll spend it for drugs, or I'll spend it to buy food for me or for my missus, or to buy clothes. That's the down thing about being,
People judge too quick, yeah?
Being too judgeful.
So final thing now, for people that are going to watch this video, what's your final message to humanity? What do you want the world to know?
Just help people like me and help them. If you see them, help them. If you can,
Okay.
any help.
And people that watch our videos, they donate money to us, and with the money we buy things like food. We buy something we call a care pack, which has quite some helpful stuff in there.
I've had a few of them, toiletries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Does that help the homeless? Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Cool. So is it okay if we give you some of those things as well? If you don't
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'd love
thank you.
if you don't.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
Yeah.
Let me
come in. Got some nice hot food for you.
Thank you very much.
And we have a care pack for you. In this we got toothbrush, toothpaste, wipes, socks and boxes.
Thank you.
Is that helpful?
That's
Yeah. People that donate. What's your message to people that help the homeless?
Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing, and God bless you.
All right. God bless you too, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Come in. Got some jogging bottoms for you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry I couldn't get a jumper, but I've got this long shirt for you.
That's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Is there anything else you need?
No, that's fine.
All right. Thank you so much.